fitting a solar panel. So today we're going to put this solar onto this motorhome, and here are all the tools we're going to need, and here is the solar and all the other things that we're going to need to fit a solar panel on a motorhome. One solar, 120 watt solar panel. Oh, so now we've got the solar panel out. Now before we do anything with the solar panel, what we need to do is to check to see if it's working. Now it is quite a dull day today, there isn't much sun out. So what we'll do, we'll get a multimeter. Now I'm not going to put it on to 20 volts, I'm actually going to move it up to 200 volts. And the reason why I'm doing that is because on a hot day it can generate a hell of a lot more than 20. So we've got a wires from the solar panel. We'll put negative onto negative, positive onto positive, and can you see there it's actually generating 21 volts, and this is on a dull day. So you can imagine what a solar panel could do on a really hot day. So now we know the solar panel's working. So as I've just shown you, when we checked the solar panel, it was over 20 volts. Now that's far too much to send down to batteries. So what we do is we use a controller. So the voltage comes down to the controller, and then that regulates it, sending it down to the batteries at the right rate. And then when the batteries have charged up, it will cut off and not send any more voltage down to the battery. So quite important to use a controller. So the next step now is we need to find out where the leisure battery is and the vehicle battery is, because putting a solar panel on is all about planning and preparation and where you're going to run the wires and everything else. So let's go and have a look and see where the leisure battery is. Right, so the leisure battery is under this seat here. So as you can see, if we pull that up, there's our leisure battery, and the vehicle battery is going to be in this hatch here. Right, so in order to plan this, we're going to have the solar panel on the roof, where the cable coming from the solar panel we want to try and get coming into this hatch here, which will then go to the controller, where we could mount either on the back or on the side. And then we'll be running two cables down, one for the leisure battery, one for the vehicle battery. So ideally we could run the two cables down here. One cable then would hook up to the leisure battery, so that's being charged, and then the other cable we could bring out of the leisure battery box, run underneath the motorhome, and then bring it back up into the battery box here for the vehicle battery. So we're then charging both batteries up. So next what we need to find out is where can we put the solar panel on the roof. Right, so the next step now is we need to know where we're going to be putting a solar panel on the roof. And the way I can do this, I can use the box as a template, so it gives me an idea where I can put the solar panel on. So we've got a template, so we can either go there, we could either go there, I'm possibly thinking about here. So we could fit it here, but what we've got to contend with now is these are the aero brackets that we use. So the solar fits into the brackets here. Obviously this is on top of the van. Now if you look at how I've placed it here, we're not having any room whatsoever for the aero brackets. So the next place now is going to be possibly towards the back of the van here. So this is probably going to be the best place I've got enough room this side for my aero, and also enough room the other side for the aero. And what I'll do is, if this is the solar panel, the wire from the solar panel coming out, I can run to here and I can run it all the way along the rail with some trunking, and roughly where I'm going to be going into the van is going to be round about here, so I can run the trunk into here and then go into the van about there to make it all nice and neat. So the next step now, we need to put the aero brackets onto the solar panel. Now, what you can do if you want to, you can glue them to the solar panel, but we don't like to do that, because if you ever get a problem with the solar panel, you can't take it off the brackets. So what we do is, if you see, we have an hole there, and then we attach it, and then we drill an hole through, and then what we do next is we screw them in.
From when you let Jason loose with tools.
So then screw them in, and then what we do the other side as well. I have already done the bracket on the other end of the solar panel. Now we've got a bracket on, basically what we'll do then is, now we'll go and do a hole for where the wires are going down into the van. Right, so now we're going to make a hole for the roof. Normally we like to drill inside the van and out, but because how this cupboard is with the board here, and we do have a gap behind it, we're going to have to drill outside to inside. So I've got a good idea. If I use as a marker the edge of this window to the lock here, I'm roughly going to go in the middle. So if I measure to round about here, this is where I want to bring get the hole in and bring the wires through. So that's roughly 5 inches, and then roughly another 2 inches then for the thickness of the van. So what I'll do then is we'll go up above, we'll use a marker then from the edge of the window to the lock, and then we'll come out 7 inches and drill it all through. Right, so we've got our flange, so that's what we're going to put on afterwards. And then we've got the edge of the window to the lock, which is roughly round about here. And then if we go 7 inches, it's going to be there. Now let's go check. And that's come out more or less where I wanted it. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to get the panel secured to the roof. So this is the area we're going to be putting the solar. So what we're going to do, just give it a good clean where roughly the brackets are going to go. So now what I'm going to do is use a flexible adhesive. Do not use any silicons or any of that type. So I'm going to do both the arrows and apply the adhesive. Yeah?
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Same on the other end.
Happy?
Yep.
So now what we'll do, we'll twist it over. You got it, Kev?
Yep.
Where do you want it?
Ready?
There?
Yep.
Is that level? Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we won't move the van now for 24 hours to give it a chance. Yeah?
Yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're doing now is we're going to put some trunking along the rail so we can then house the cable from the solar panel. Take that off. Where are you going?
Right.
You stuck it. It's too late now. Do you want it coming off or not?
No, we'll be. Wibbly wobbly.
I know. It's because you stuck it down.
It's stuck. It's like we're trying to feel it off.
I've done all this by myself, Kev, and you've done one thing and ruined it for me.
We'll drop the cable in it.
If you want to.
Oh, we don't need the levers back down here again, do we?
Now we can move over. Okay. It's a nice fit.
We'll need that wider trunking inside the van because we won't get two cables. Well, I'll put the captain back on. Then we can do the next piece.
Okay.
Put off to length. There you go. You won't see any cable there.
Happy?
Yep.
Right, second trunking on. Hang on, Kev, let me get my end footed up. Let's just put that into there. Kev, done it again on me.
I didn't. You've got that end now.
Drop it down. That's it. There you go. Get some trunking on. Yep.
Yep.
Right, so cable's going through the gland. Push the cable through. Right, you're going through, Kev. Sealing around the hole. Okay.
You've got to remember that the cable will push through as well.
Yeah, so give that a good seal around that. There you go.
You did clean it before because we cleaned the pencil marker.
And seal that all around.
Plenty on it. This is the place we don't want water getting in.
Quick, quick.
Nice tight, watertight seal.
Yeah, it's all good around my side.
Yep.
Yep, yep.
Because that glue. I always put a bit round here as well.
There you go.
Tighten the grommet up, yeah. I always like to put a bit around here. I know it's in a rubber grommet, but so let's change some water. Camera off.
That was just in time. Right, so here's our wire coming from the solar panel, and what we have to do now is to attach this to the controller. Now we use two types of controllers. We have this one, which is a 10 amp one, and it'll take a solar panel up to 150, or we have the Pro one, which is a 15 amp, and it'll take a solar panel up to 220. And you can Bluetooth this one with your phone, and it'll tell you how much charge and the conditions of your battery as well, which is a really good controller. But because we're doing this solar panel on Kev's van, we're going to use the cheaper version. So we've got our 10 amp. So here's our 10 amp. So what you can see here, the solar marking is where this wire coming from the solar, we're going to connect up here, positive and negative, and then we're going to send wires to the leisure battery and the vehicle battery. So the first one we always connect to vehicle battery first, the second one we then connect to the leisure battery. So first of all, we're going to find out where we're going to position it. Where do you want it, Kev?
Over this side.
Right here?
Yeah.
So we're going to put it round about here. So what I've done, I've drilled two holes. I've drilled a hole here for the cable to come through and run down here, and then I've drilled two holes there because obviously we're having two cables, one going to the leisure, one going to the vehicle battery. And then what we'll do then is we'll put some trunking on here to neaten everything up. So here's the trunking, and then what we're going to do is put it on round about here to neaten it all up, leaving a bit of a gap and a gap at the bottom for the wires. Right, so what I've done, put the trunking on, and I've got my cable here. Which I'm going to thread up through here. It's going to go to my controller, and then the second cable, the other end, through one of the holes, which is now going to go to my leisure battery. And there, that's going through. Right, before I start connecting up, I'm going to have a quick clean up. And then what we can do, we can move on to the next stage. So now it's the second wire, and this one is going to be going to vehicle battery. We'll drop that one down the second hole. So what we're going to do now is we're going to drop this down through here underneath the van, and then we can send it then up to the vehicle battery. And then what I'll do is go underneath the van, pull it through. Tell me when.
Go on, keep going, keep going.
Hey.
Keep going. Right, that'll do.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what I can do then is run the cable now up to the vehicle battery. So right, vehicle battery's here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in at the bottom of the vehicle battery tray, and then we can connect up to the vehicle battery. So as you can see, what I've done, I've threaded the cable through, I've tied it in with the other wires, other cables that are running underneath the van as well, and then we've come up into the battery box. So now what we've got to do is connect up the battery, and then that's the vehicle battery side taken care of. We've stripped all the wires, and basically what we're going to do now is to connect the control panel up. So this is the wire coming from the solar. There we go, we connect the solar up, and now what we're going to do is to do the vehicle battery onto one, and then we're going to do the leisure battery onto two. We've stripped all the wires. I've put the controller onto the side of the van. Now there's your solar wire coming, which I've connected up now to positive negative. I've connected the vehicle one up, positive and negative, and this is the solar, this is the leisure battery one, positive to negative. So what we'll do now, we'll get the cables into the trunking and put the trunking on, and then what we're going to do is to connect up to the vehicle battery and the leisure battery. So as you can see now, we put the wires in the trunking, neatened it all up there, and I'll go down and connect up the vehicle battery, the positive and negative, and then hopefully we'll see it working. Is that on, Kev?
That's on. We're showing some, and we're showing that it's charging. We're showing that it's charging.
Right. So now you can see we've got the light here that we know we're getting solar, and then this light here is saying that we're getting a charge to the vehicle battery. When it does flash, that means the battery is full when it does flash, and that means the controller's doing its job and cutting out any more charge to the vehicle battery. So what we have to do now is to connect up to the leisure battery. Now we've connected the vehicle battery up, I'll go down now and do the leisure. Connect them up. How's that, Kev? Is it on? Yeah. So the third light, sorry, now is the leisure battery, and as you can see they're both flashing, so that means both batteries are full, so the controller then is cutting off any power, then controlling the power then going down to the batteries. And what we also do, if I can just show you, on both batteries we do put a fuse in as well. So there's a fuse, and we do the same on the vehicle battery. Solar panel. So now you know how to do your solar panel, from putting the solar panel on the roof to running your wires down to the controller, and then from the controller to the vehicle and the leisure battery. So I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.